Well, how is it going, everyone? I hope you all are gathering some valuable information from the sessions. Now, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Miss Joanna. She's a millennial who transitioned careers and reskilled for the future of work. Her experience in technology and consulting global companies like Deloitte, OutSystem, and OSF Digital spans human capital consulting, employer branding, and the future of work. After a decade in sales and marketing, Joanna shifted to tech and consulting in 2018. A speaker, a trainer, and co author, she enjoys traveling, sports, and spending quality time with her family and friends. So, hello, Joanna. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Thank you so much, Tripti, for welcoming me in this session about personal branding in a competitive talent market.
Yeah, absolutely. We are super keen to know more about the session and what are you going to share with us. So won't take much of your time, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Tripti. So I will upload my presentation. Sorry, just a very quick, adjustment. So I'm very glad to be here. I launched one poll to set up a little bit the tone of the conversation. If you go to the polls tab, I will launch this first one. That is personal branding in my career is important when I will show here on stage. So if you could answer it, I'll be very glad. So let's see how important and frequently you have been thinking on personal branding for your career. So some seconds still before I close the poll. Really interesting answers. So I will stop here for the poll. So 60% of you have told that almost always. So we are really in the right direction. So I will close the poll here. Um, Very briefly, I know Tripti already introduced me, but it's very important when we do personal branding, to very upfront showcase and share our contact details. So that's exactly what I'm doing, So the next time you'll also know how to do. So, like a professional photo, your quick and immediate social public links that you wanted to be known for and let people discover more about you online asynchronously after the session. So my name is Joanna. I'm based in Portugal. I'm Portuguese, lived already a little bit abroad, and did a career change from travel industry to the technology industry some 6 years ago. And of course, I had to set up a plan of personal branding because also I had to very quickly move from one industry to another one, set up, let's say, a new network of future colleagues and stakeholders that I would be working with. So personal branding was and is also today key in my career path. So first of all, very quick note about personal branding, and then how you could start implementing it and testing it, and then what's next after you set up your strategy and what you should be doing the next month or years, as this is a marathon, as you already know. And at the very end, we can have some questions and answers for you also. So personal branding, before all, why personal branding? So maybe sometimes we just think about it when we look for the next job, or we are thinking of changing careers, like it was my case. But definitely, as also a specialist on the future of work trends, I realized that more and more, Generation Z look for a variety of experience. And when you look for a variety of experience, you should be willing to switch more from jobs and from companies than ever before. Maybe we are not looking anymore for a job for life or a company for life, and maybe we now, will have several never-ending jobs, as I said. Just a little bit of a small joke. And also jobs are also being created all the time, right? So there are new industries, there are new topics. There's not necessarily a big learning path from to start new jobs, either in engineering, technology, or even communication and HR, as these are my fields. So we need to apply and to be eligible for non-existing jobs, let's say, in the future. And the future, as our guest speaker also told, it's very volatile and unpredictable. So nobody knows what exactly will happen in 5 to 10 years. And because of that, we should be working in our brand, our personal brand. Also, with remote work, the borders are more and more fluid, right? So borders, let's say, of work contracts, of what is working abroad. Is that relocating to another country? Is that working remotely from your country? So all these concepts are really, really getting more mixed and confusing. And because of that, we start to be competing with everyone. If you realize that we are not only competing with the local talent where we are based in our industry, but also with global talent. So that's why we need more and more to have a stronger brand, a stronger presence, because at any time we need to be willing to compete on a more larger level than we used to do before. Also with search engine optimization, Google search, with ChatGPT, all the AI information that is looking for information on the web. Well, if there is a search on our information, our correct and updated and attractive information should be available, right? So we are the enablers who will enable the right information that we want to be searched, so it can be seen as a very attractive profile for our future employer, let's say, or for a business opportunity, or for a call for speakers. So because of all of this, we need more and more to be looking to personal branding, no matter which is the industry or the role that you are working on. Personal branding is to work on the brand for yourself. So my advice is that you look to your career, but you also make sure you have time, energy, and some learning process on how to develop and update your personal brand, along the time, because it builds your reputation. It not builds, but reinforce your reputation. So your reputation is the work that you do, the way you behave, you act in society, in your company, in your industry. But personal branding reinforces your authenticity and your achievements and CV. Also, it's a long-term strategy. So we already told that in the other presentation. This is not a short-term activity. This is something that you plan for your next 5 to 10 years. Then it's also a 360 experience. Why do I say this? Because we cannot just try to update our profiles on social media and then be mute for conversations, or someone inviting us for a networking coffee, virtual coffee, and then being not available to speak with people and introduce ourselves. So this is a 360 experience, because when we work on our personal branding, we need to be willing to be networking also, or to go to events, or maybe to speak about our work, and be. So there's a lot of activities that starts to be related to this and that are connected, like being more active or conscious on social media, what we publish online, be posting more frequently, interacting with others. So there's a lot of learning around personal branding. The most important is that it goes inside out. So it's the authentic self that you're expressing, and that you want to be seen in the web. And also it's the needs of a clear mission and purpose. So imagine that you are in a very competitive talent market and you want to be unique. For that, it's important also that you define, what is your mission? What is your purpose? Maybe it's a very hard question saying like that, but it's more like what you love, what you hate. Is that clear on your mind? So at least you know why you would be interested in working in certain brands or industries and why you wouldn't be. So there's a sort of narrative that you build around yourself and what you want to be, want to do in the next 5 years. Personal branding is really a large spectrum. So it's not only about your LinkedIn profile, but of course, that's the first main door for most part of our job roles. Not all, but some of them. Then there are also other social media that can be very convenient depending on the role that you're doing. Maybe it could be around videos, maybe it could be around Instagram. Also, events, I already talked about them. Let me also launch here a poll very quickly. The second poll, that is, what are the most effective tools for you in terms of personal branding? So I'd like you to vote here. So most part of you are voting LinkedIn, 45%, and then networking, I guess. So it's still moving a little bit. Yeah, so half of you have been voting LinkedIn and then networking. This is really great. You know, if I would like to choose also, I could choose in this order also. So thank you so much for participating. So networking could be on one-on-one, but also through events. Okay, so events could be a lot of things. Could be you networking with people on events. Could be you learning in the process. Could be you being volunteering or being in a call for speakers or for moderators in your fields of expertise. Also, you could be more active on writing. I know maybe it's not so comfortable for all of you, but writing a little bit about your experience, what the new trends are, what you think about them. Could be a post on LinkedIn, or it could be something more as a blog post like Medium. Okay, so in any way, the way you can contribute to some thought leadership content, that would be really important for your personal branding. Also, of course, ultimately, you also have awards in each industry that you can start competing and collaborating with others. So, you know, we can celebrate and recognize the talent of our peers and also ourselves in the market. When I say interviews, is also being interviewed. The more you grow in your career, the more you have a specific knowledge, the more you'll be likely to be asked some questions that you can also share with others and, you know, inspire others for learning. So personal branding is really a very large field where you can go from posting your work life experience through social media, or even, you know, how you enjoy your job and your, you know, achievements, professional achievements online, or some perks that you have been receiving and seeing. So everything can be an example, and the more you are vocal and active, the more also the company that you work for can enjoy of you being an ambassador of, you know, your role, your mission, and the company also. So now how to start. So I think the main question is the most strategic, is define who you are and who you want to be known for, right? So the more you are clear on your career goals for the next 5 to 10 years, so I don't say much more than that because I believe that the world goes so fast and things change so fast that sometimes it's not the point of being too much longer than 10 years. Okay, so what would be your next 5 to 10 years goals? That should be very clear on your mind. What are also your personal values that you want to commit and stay committed? And also, of course, in addition, what are your personal interests or hobbies? Because at some point this can connect also to your work. Maybe, as we heard here, we could be like volunteering for a project in a field of your personal interest. Or people get to know people. We are not just a profile to do work, we are also people, and as humans we like to relate to them and see what resonates about also personal experience and personal interest. So it's important to complement, and also it gives more authenticity to your profile, right, and to what you express as a leader or as a specialist in that field. Also think about the metrics that you like to be evaluating, because maybe you start just being more active on some initiatives, but maybe you want to measure, right? So, for example, on LinkedIn, it's very easily to evaluate or to measure how what's the number of followers that you have on your profile. So, as you can see in this image, as for an example, we can see here around, sorry, I'm seeing so badly. It's so small in my my screen. So around 22,000, more than 22,000 followers. So this could be a metric, or a metric could be questions and message that you receive on your LinkedIn or other social media, or invitations to be part of a project or an event. So there are several ways that you can measure, like KPIs for success on your personal branding strategy. Then the second thing is to define your narrative. What's your elevator pitch? What are your unique selling points? The most important is that you're not another software engineer, another digital marketing specialist. This was really clear for me when I did my career change. I knew that I couldn't be competing with 1,000 people or 10,000 people. I would need to find some niche words that could bring something else to the conversation and be more unique, because the more you are unique to the mind of other people, the more you are memorable, let's say, and people will remember you and will refer you, recommend you to several situations. Also, you can have a main elevator pitch, but maybe you are also open to one or two variations of careers. So also be open to be flexible on the topics that you like to address and be more invested in. And also remember about the language and the countries that you are targeting for. In my case, I'm working on global roles, and I'm speaking in English and not focusing so much in Portuguese in Portugal. So this is a intentional strategy of defining that English is the global language, and that there are a variety of countries that I'm trying to reach, let's say. Also, I advise you to have a look to the Google search and see a little bit how is the content that is shown behind your name and what is visible there, so you can control better what do you like to show to employers or not. And then you can build your narrative, around a little bit your career, your personal interest. There's a lot of tools nowadays to help you build a beautiful narrative like ChatGPT. So it's really easy, even for the ones who don't have copywriting as their main strengths. Then you have to define your plan and which profiles you want to focus. Maybe I just advise you to focus on one or two social media profiles. And then you say, okay, Joanna, so why do you show here five? Because nowadays, other companies, opportunities have arisen, and there have been opportunities of interviews, of podcasts, but this was not the plan. The plan was LinkedIn and probably Twitter or Instagram, and then the others followed after. So you choose one or two that you will focus to be recurrent and frequently visiting, posting, interacting, and then others will follow afterwards. Also consider a professional photo, because this is something that it really, I value personally, and I only start doing that like 3-4 years ago. But I really think like it should translate a mix of business with personality image of you. And then the most difficult part is run the marathon. And this has already been said, and this is the final part. It's not about just setting your intentions and building the plan, is running it for 3 years, 5 years, no matter what, being resilient. So these are the examples of things that you can do by posting, often your publications, interacting with other publications, growing your network and doing networking, because otherwise you're just talking to a very small, limited audience, and this is not the best you can have on personal branding. Interacting with others, so please just translate your personal brand also on one-on-one relationships with others. Let's combine also online with in-person interactions. Okay, so of course we are here in a virtual setting, but you have the opportunity to go to an in-person event. That's really important. I also advise you to volunteer, grab opportunities of speaking engagement on your fields. Okay, this exists, and there's a lot of call for speakers, so you can start trying and see how you feel about talking to others, sharing your learnings and experience. Also, be part of communities. Communities are really interesting. These are active networks of people helping each other, supporting each other with mutual interests. And this is really good for people to know about you, what you do, what you like to achieve. And they will be also your buddies, let's say, and supporters in the long run. And they will help also to reinforce your personal brand. Also, help others with genuine interest. I think that's the most important about being known a little bit on your field of expertise is that people feel like it's genuine. It's not just for the sake of personal branding. Okay, so it's just be part of the community and feel it with the heart. And yes, also become an active ambassador of your company, about your role, about your industry. Why not, you be one of the few who are most active and proud to show about your life at your company and so on. So this is really good also for the company, and it helps you to reinforce the personal brand. So, to finalize, I think we are already running against time. Just choose a balance between being natural and go a little bit over your comfort zone. Consistency is everything. So, don't do everything today, but just spread it out during 1 year and be a little bit consistent during the weeks and the months. Be creative. Like, we don't have to do all the same recipes and the same way. We just need to experiment new things and see how we feel and what are the results. And also use the results as a feedback for you, right? Is that working? Is that good? So, final takeaways. I advise you and recommend you to include personal branding as part of your career strategy, because everything changes very fast, as we already heard, and we need always to be prepared with our business card, let's say, about ourselves. And for that, you need to allocate some time and energy to keep on investing it on the long run. So the key for success is that you are yourself and you are authentic about yourself, and you are showing up consistently to the world. And that's it. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much.
I Thank you so much, Joanna. I guess that was amazing, and you led a very interesting discussion, of course, with the poll and making it more engaging. But I'm pretty sure the insights that you shared will will surely resonate with our audience, and they can practice, ap- applying personal branding in their career journey, career, right, and in the journey of growth and achievement. So yeah, thank you so much. We do have a couple of questions here, if you can have a look at them.
Yes, I can answer. If you have 1 minute, I can answer at least one. So
Surely.
for Okay, so for the people who feel like they are introvert, it's something that we work. Okay, so there are several groups just for public speaking, for networking, that train ourselves in a selected small group of people to practice and to practice speeches and a little bit with some theater behaviors to help us to be more confident in front of strangers. So this is something that exists in Lisbon and other cities. And it's almost low cost investment, so you can really practice that. And then have the first opportunity in your company, in your department, so you feel more safe with your peers. And it's a progressive work.
Awesome. But guys, don't worry, because you will still have time with Joanna, because she will be at her table in the lounge area. So you can get your questions answered there as well and meet her at the table in the lounge. Thank you once again, Joanna, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you today.